Sorry, I always laugh when I hear this music. It is indeed Strictly season, and the sequins are already flying around the dance floor, adding a bit of a spangled Saturday nights, if you like that sort of thing. It is the romance of the dance which gets people going, isn't it? It's just so fab. Now, as you can tell, regular eager listeners will know that I'm not Elliot. So before we meet my next guests, I'd like to make it clear that I am spoken for, although I have to say, you never know what offer's going to come up next. Elliot is famously single, and he's a bit whiny about it. Oh, a terrible thing to say about the poor chap. Personally, having only just met him, I can understand why he's single, but that's another story. Now, a couple of weeks ago, he spoke to a dance teacher, Debbie, who tried to persuade him that Ceroc, a Ceroc class was a good way to meet a new partner. Debbie promised to bring in some proof, and she's as good as a word. Welcome back.
Hi, Will. Nice to see you.
Well, that's kind of you to say. The proof that you've brought in is Chris.
Yes.
And
hello.
And you're going to Jackie. Now, the reason I was a bit confused is because all morning I've been saying a partner are coming in. Just tell me a bit more about this Ceroc. We've got 3 people here. It's not that, cosy, is it?
No.
You just have to get these things clear, really, don't you? So let's start with you, Debbie. Let's find out how you met. Literally, how you met. Was it on the dance floor?
No, I'm Chris and Jackie's dance teacher.
Didn't know that.
No.
Thanks for telling me.
There you go.
So you two met.
Yes,
that's right.
You see, that's why I was getting a bit, confused about the whole thing. So you run the class.
Yes.
And do you encourage singles, or is it just anybody really who wants to come along to dance?
It's open for anybody.
But while you're there, you've noticed this, as a social trend? Is this, people coming to meet each other because they're singles?
No, I think initially people come to learn to dance. They want to make some new friends. So they're learning a skill, but in the process of that, they're meeting people.
I take it it's taken off too since Strictly. I mean, Strictly's just made dance part of everybody's conversation, hasn't it, really, now?
Pretty much.
And have you found a boost in numbers?
Oh, absolutely. Since Strictly came on the air. To be fair, Ceroc's always been very popular anyway. Brought into the country in the 80s, but it's in function rooms as opposed to on the main street. So our ladies feel quite comfortable when they come along dancing.
Interesting you say ladies there. Is it mainly ladies?
No, it's not. It's
yes, it is, isn't it?
No, actually, no. It's quite well gender balanced. So we have as many men come dancing, as I was explaining to Elliot, because he was trying to declare that he had 2 left feet, and I said my quote to a guy is, "Well, I have 2 right feet, so I'll make a perfect couple on the dance floor."
Yeah, I've heard it so often.
Yeah.
What's distinctive about Ceroc? What makes it different from, I don't know, Latin or whatever?
Because it's quite easy to learn, and we dance to modern chart music or anything from Frank Sinatra right the way through. So it's generally music that people easily recognise and they can sing along to, feel comfortable, and it's not got the same structure to ballroom dancing. It's just
important, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that ballroom dancing thing, because I'm afraid I went to the sort of school that made sixth formers do some ballroom dancing. I just don't want to go into details about it. They're very, very dark memories indeed. But the choreography was tricky. So, guys, the dancers, you're brilliant because you're the teacher and you know what you're doing. I'm going to talk about the dance itself and the fact, look, it's a social thing. So, what was it easy to take up, first of all?
Yes, extremely easy. Debbie gets you dancing within the first lesson. At the end of the first lesson, you can dance with a partner all the way through a track.
Where'd you go? Where is this class?
There are classes all over the place. Evesham, Worcester, Bromsgrove,
Where's Debbie's? Do you go touring with it? Have feet will travel?
Pretty much. We're actually off to a dance weekender in Breen. There'll be about 1,200 dancers all stockpiling on a holiday camp. But we have a class every Thursday evening at Extreme Bowl on a Thursday evening. That's our Worcester venue. But I also have venues in Birmingham. So people can just look up Ceroc, Ceroc.
Thank you for that.
Repeat, Ceroc.
You two are on commission, presumably?
Yes.
Quietly.
No, Chris, I mean, I think it, I don't know why, but I think it is harder for a chap, is it?
Oh, it certainly is, yes.
Oh, thank goodness you said that. I thought it was just
I
me.
have to fess up and say that, it isn't generally a man thing. I was sort of persuaded into it by a friend who was already a dancer, him and his wife were already dancers, and there were 3 of us at the squash club in Malvern talking. Both me and the Dennis were recently single men, and Rob, who persuaded us to go dancing. We weren't overly keen, but So, well, okay, because he said, you ain't going to meet any women in a squash club or a golf club. And he was right. So we went along to dancing, and, you know, I'd never danced. I was 52. I'd never ever danced apart from after 7 or 8 pints of lager at a disco or something.
I would have liked to have seen that, funnily.
You wouldn't.
It was horrible. But so that first moment when you walk in, you know, do you feel a bit like a lemon, and how does it very quickly get warmed up?
No, because the way that the system of doing it is you have 3 or 4 lines, and men on one side, women on the other, so you get to dance with a woman straight away, and you're taught one move at a time, and then they move the women round, so you get to dance with every woman in the class in a one after the other, and you just do it. You start off with a move, you start it from basics, and you're taught where to put your feet, where to put your arms and everything, and actually it was surprisingly easy.
And where to put your hands.
Yes.
Good.
Or not to put your hands.
Such a very good point, that, isn't it? Because honestly, you don't know what to do with these if you're a chap. I mean, I don't. I generally, put my hands on my head because I don't think you can put anything going out of step there. So, Jackie, how did this thing happen? How did you two meet?
Well, I've been dancing for a few months at Debbie's Ceroc class, and one day a tall, handsome man joined the class as a beginner.
And was Chris there too? I just... Just kidding.
And as Chris said, the great thing about Ceroc is that because of the way the class moves and the women move around the class, you get to meet everybody. So you can see somebody the other side of the class, and when they come round, you put on your best smile and say hello to them and start up a conversation.
Actually, to be honest with you, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, it's just fantastic. You know, you're all there to enjoy the music, enjoy the dance, and you seem to run a very relaxed ship. That's probably the best way of putting it, isn't it? And then what happened after? How close are you two guys now? Are you just dance partners, or?
We're married. We've been married for 6.5 years.
And it all met in Ceroc?
All met in Ceroc. We had a dance-based wedding.
Talk me through that. What's a dance-based wedding? Did you jig up the aisle?
A dance theme.
Right, got it.
You know, we chose tracks which were related to dance. In the reception afterwards, Debbie came along and taught us the rock class to all of our guests. And
you didn't challenge, did you, by any chance?
No, and they loved it. All the folk, the guests that were there that hadn't danced previously, were all chanting away with us all. Arm out, here we go, turn left. We had a real jolly, didn't we?
We certainly did. I mean, dance brings such joy into people's lives that we felt that we wanted to share some of that with our guests and show them, what we've been experiencing. And everybody said to us afterwards what a wonderful wedding it was and how much fun they had.
To be honest with you, I mean, it sounds fab because, no disrespect, but weddings can be quite dull, can't they?
Yes,
you sit in the cold or something. Yeah, no. Whereas yours was, quite confrontational. Obviously, when you walk in, sit down, get up, dance.
Yeah. And for a man who hadn't really ever danced up to the age of 52, at the wedding, I actually choreographed the wedding dance that we did.
Which was to what song, just out of interest?
It was Jack Johnson's "Better Together."
Does anybody know how it goes? How's it go? Do you know how it goes? Anybody sing for me? No. Well, that's lost on me. But I can imagine you all there. Well, look, it just sounds great. And the endorphin rush is such a thing as well, isn't it? Do you feel much happier after a dance?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, yesterday I spent the whole day in the office, 9 hours in front of a computer, went home, had a shower, and then went dancing. And at the end of the evening, you feel fantastic.
How often do you go, just out of interest, you guys?
Once, twice a week. We go to weekenders, we do workshops at weekends, all sorts. There's always opportunities to dance, and it's a great way to let your hair down.
You're kind of like apostles, really, aren't you two, spreading the word? Do you teach now? Are you that good? Or are you...
No, we don't teach, no.
It's up to you.
But it is so much part of our lives. I can't imagine our lives without dancing. We have a great relationship, and we have an awful lot to thank Ceroc and to thank Debbie for that, because we have got so much out of it. And we are still doing it. That's the passion.
You. But this is what we're trying to put across to Elliot, you see. We're trying to get him
Are you
to
on a crusade to find a woman for Elliot?
And we are. that was the whole point.
Have you got anywhere? Have you found...
No, he's got to come along.
He's yet to attend his first evening.
I think it's pathetic, that. Why doesn't he turn up?
Well, we've only just met, so... but I've said my mission is to help him.
You see, the thing is, there's a technical reason why I can't ask for a lesson right now, because if we play the music, we can't hear it if you open my mic, can we? No. Oh, not with headphones. Can't have everybody with headphones, and we'll trip over them. But look, good luck with that.
But come along, come and have a lesson.
No, I won't.
It is a great thing for couples to do together as well. I mean, yes, it's a wonderful way to meet people, but it's also something that we share as a couple. And being able to dance together is a real joy.
Do you know, I can't see the downside, to be honest with you.
There is
Single
none.
or not single.
It does make, I mean, you said about weddings being dull affairs. Actually, when you get invited to a wedding, it's a lot more cheery when you know that after the reception the music comes on and you can have a dance.
No, there is a reticence, though, amongst chaps, isn't there?
No, not when you've learned Ceroc, it isn't.
No, point is, say I get an invite to a wedding and says, by the way, you've got to dance. I would be honest and say I would have to, find out whether I had something else to do, because it frightens the living daylights out of me.
I would have done before. I always did do all my life before. And I mean, I regret that I never learned to dance before.
And also, I'm not being rude, but you're both healthy-looking people. Did you lose weight? Is it physically very good for you too?
It's excellent, yeah. It keeps you fit and healthy.
Okay, let's do the business, shall we? Where can you go Cerocking then, Debs?
Extreme Bowl every Thursday evening is the local Worcester venue. Kicks off at 8 o'clock, and I also need to mention it's for all ages too. I'm just about to take my daughter, she's 18, to compete in a dance championship for Ceroc this weekend. So, and I've mentioned to Elliot, my father does it too, he's 73, so it's for all the family, for all ages, all generations. Great.
See the way Debbie was giving herself a bit of beat there about banging the table. Okay, look, you two, absolutely fabulous to meet you. Thanks very much for that, and Debbie, thank you for all the work you're doing, but
Thank you
also
for having us, Will.
And introducing you. Good luck with the Elliot thing. Let me know how you get on.
Absolutely, I shall keep pressing him.
Well, be careful on that.